A recent memorandum from the U.S. Department of State indicates that an international technology collective, now classified under a U.S. global terrorism designation, has provided digital services to several overseas terrorist organizations and violent far-left groups implicated in civil unrest within the United States. Secretary of State Marco Rubio emphasized the gravity of far-left terrorism, characterizing it as a significant threat to both the United States and Western societies. In response, the United States imposed sanctions on Autistici/Inventati, also known as the /I Collective, an Italy-based entity noted for developing advanced digital infrastructure utilized by violent left-wing organizations in the United States, Europe, and several designated terrorist groups. According to the Department of State, the /I Collective offers a suite of encrypted communications tools, secure web hosting, video conferencing, streaming services, and anonymity protocols. These digital resources reportedly facilitate the organization, recruitment, communication, and operational coordination of far-left networks, while obfuscating user identities and activities from legal authorities. The U.S. designation as a specially designated global terrorist entity results in a prohibition on business relationships with the collective by U.S. individuals and financial institutions, and mandates the freezing of any assets under U.S. jurisdiction, with violations potentially incurring civil or criminal penalties. The memorandum cites multiple U.S.-based and international organizations as recipients of services from the /I Collective, including Rose City Antifa, a Portland-based group known for involvement in violent protests, and a media outlet reportedly disseminating information on behalf of groups such as the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP, Hamas, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and Hezbollah. Further, the memo alleges that Jane's Revenge, a militant abortion rights group, used the collective's tools to communicate threats and claims of responsibility in connection with violent acts. The State Department asserts that access to /I Collective tools is restricted to individuals and groups aligning with its ideological criteria, supporting approximately 16,000 email accounts, 1,500 websites, 55 mailing lists, and 10,000 blogs. The collective's infrastructure, though based overseas, is said to serve domestic organizations such as Antifa, facilitating the distribution of tactical information and operational communications. The memorandum outlines instances wherein these digital services allegedly enabled acts of violence and dissemination of sensitive or targeted information. For example, Rose City Antifa is reported to have used /I Collective resources to circulate instructions for illegal actions, including targeting law enforcement aircraft with lasers and publishing personal information about U.S. immigration and customs enforcement personnel, accompanied by calls for targeted attacks. Jane's Revenge reportedly utilized the same platform to claim responsibility for a series of attacks on crisis pregnancy centers and to issue public threats against pro-life organizations. The memorandum notes subsequent federal charges against several individuals associated with these actions. Internationally, the memorandum details how far-left groups in Europe, including those in France, Italy, Germany, and the Netherlands, allegedly used /I Collective services to claim responsibility for attacks on critical infrastructure and to disseminate instructions for disruptive actions, such as constructing incendiary devices or sabotaging energy networks. In public statements, senior U.S. officials, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, reaffirmed the government's commitment to employing economic and legal measures against organizations and individuals found to be supporting or enabling politically motivated violence.